Idaho is in the midst of what some call a historic fire season, and one expert warns that this year's devastation may only be the beginning. Now, joining me live is renowned botanist Dr. Reese Halter. And Doctor, you've been investigating a lot of the firestorms across the state. And why are you saying that this may just be the beginning of things?
Cocktail, hotter weather, drier weather, 1 + 2 equals big monster fires, and we got them. We got them right now. We got the East Zone complex, over 200,000, and the Cascade, which will close off, I predict, a little over 200,000. These are huge fires.
Yeah, absolutely huge and very devastating as well. People being evacuated from their homes, being threatened. Also, is this something that really isn't a surprise for, say, because of the conditions that have been building up throughout the state for a period of time?
Exactly right. Smokey the Bear taught us that all fires are evil, and so we did a very good job of putting everything out. And now when fire comes back in, there are millions in this state, millions of dead trees, beetle-killed trees, fire, beetle-killed trees, and it's awful. And there's billions of trees. As a matter of fact, these beetles have killed enough timber in Western North America to feed the American housing market in its entirety for 5 years.
Really?
This is real serious. They've sped up their breeding cycle in Alaska and in British Columbia twofold, threefold. Our forests are a harbinger of what's going on here.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking serious kindling out there, in addition to the hot, dry conditions.
Big time.
Is there a way we can correct this or help prevent this? What should be done?
Not really. I mean, we're going to have to rock and roll through this. These are hard times. Certainly the forest has got to be thinned. Obviously fire was Mother Nature's thinner. Can't have that deliberately put back in. We're suggesting in California that the prison inmates, low-order inmates, get out there and do the work. I mean, which would you rather, $1 an hour to an inmate or $30 or $40 to a faller? It's easy. I mean, since 1986, these are the astounding statistics. The number of fires has increased 4-fold.
Wow.
The size of these fires has increased 6-fold, and half the Forest Service budget is going to fighting fires. Last year we went through $1.6 billion fighting fires. Last year was the biggest firefighting year in our history, and this year's going to come real close.
Wow. So are you, you had mentioned that in California that you were looking at kind of a pre-planned issue. Do you think something like that may need to be implemented here in the state of Idaho?
Absolutely. All across the West. All across the West. And we've got to become fire smart, and we've got to work with nature as opposed to always working against her. Obviously we got to have logging, we need wood, but we've got to get smart with what we're doing, and these are wake-up calls. I mean, our forests are telling us all over the nation we're in trouble. Temperatures are rising, CO2 is going up. Idaho just came off the hottest July in its history, 9 degrees hotter than average, 98.6.
And that's huge, especially ecology-wise. I mean, that's just not making us uncomfortable, but it's doing has devastating effects on our environment.
And it's got a ripple effect because water's coming from our snow's melting sooner, fire seasons are happening sooner and extending out, and we got to take care of our planet.
And Doctor, real quick, you've just released a new book. This is Wild Weather, the Truth Behind Global Warming. If you were interested in Dr. Reese Halter's in his research into the fire conditions, not only in the state of Idaho, but across the country?
Across the country, and we're talking about hurricanes, which obviously today are the flavor of today, and for the next month we're going to see some smokers. And we've got a lot of other neat little tidbits in the book, easy to read. I'm a syndicated science writer, and we got to make people understand and not so distant from our environment. We're all in it together.
Yeah, we are. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really appreciate your insight into the conditions. Okay, time now is 6:50.